Nothing that didn't come as naturally to her as breathing does to us. And she could be a real brat about it, too. I mean, she used to...
Jayne and Simon have taken such an irrational dislike to each other that it gets a bit silly sometimes.
No, this must be what going mad feels like.
After all, a doctor is precisely what Jayne needs close by, and sticking close to someone who can handle a gun as well as Jayne is exactly what Simon has needed on more than one occasion. These men should, in all reasonableness, shake hands and call it even. But they come from such different worlds that neither of them, especially Jayne, has an interest in seeing the practical side of their relationship. Simon is much better at hiding it, but he, like Jayne, would like no better than to see the other guy thrown out of an airlock.
So you had to tear my infirmary apart?
Apparently.
My God. You're like a trained ape, without the training.
I suppose that's what happens between the two men on the ship who we can least identify with. Simon is just as much of a jerk as Jayne sometimes.
Where are you going?
I'm going with you.
I don't think so. No, maybe you ought to stay here.
He comes from a privileged background, and this is too much for Jayne, who would prefer to forget his background. With that in mind, I have a prediction regarding these two. They will become fast friends, just as Jayne has with Book. Emotionally, they're like two peas in a pod.
Hey, you're part of my crew.
I think I might cry.
If they could just learn to stand being in the same room together.